The 7 princes of hell are the highest and most powerful of all demons, regardless of their origins. They represent each of the 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, pride, sloth, envy, greed, and wrath. The leader of the princes is Lucifer, who is the supreme ruler of hell, whose authority is beyond that of any other demons, with his most loyal follower Beelzebub by his side. The 7 princes of hell are the highest authority in hell, even above the Ars Goetia. They are the rivals of the 7 archangel, which were created at the same time as them. According to Peter Binsfeld, the 7 princes of hell are classified as the personifications of the 7 deadly sins. In 1589, amongst the chaos of these witch trials, Peter published a list of demons that he believed to be the lords or princes of hell. According to Binsfeld, the 7 deadly sins were much more than just deadly vices. He believed each one was a demon. So, who are these demons? Lucifer, the fallen angel, represented the sin of pride, the original and most serious of the 7 deadly sins. His overwhelming pride led to him believing faith could rule heaven, and so he was cast out and demonized when his rebellion was unsuccessful. The ever-present reminder of the dangers when one allows pride to overcome them. Some consider Lucifer to be the ruler of the 7 princes. These accounts often believe Lucifer and Satan are the same individuals. They even sometimes replace Lucifer with another fallen angel figure, such as Azazel. The second demon that Binsfeld mentioned is Mammon, whose name roughly translates to mean money in Scripture. Mammon isn't necessarily a physical being, more so a concept surrounding money, wealth, and greed. Over time, this began to change, and it was during the Middle Ages Mammon became more than just a concept. He was personified as the demon of greed in numerous pieces of art and literature, and thus some scholars began to classify him as one of the princes of hell, who would enslave those who were driven by greed and the accumulation of wealth. The third prince of hell is Asmodeus, who represented the sin of lust. Many saw his role as spreading lust through the land. From common people to kings and queens, nobody was safe. In the book of Tobit, he fell in love with a woman named Sarah and prevented her from marrying anyone else. He also killed 7 of her husbands the night of their wedding, just before they could consummate the marriage. His appearance can vary, but most of the time, we see a part man, part animal hybrid. The Kabbalah explains this as him being a half-human, half-demon offspring. His mother, a succubus, and his father, King David. The fourth demon prince, according to Binsfeld, was Leviathan, which represented the sin of envy. This one may seem a little odd, as when most people think of the Leviathan, they think of an enormous sea monster, not exactly something you'd assume would be found in hell. The Italian philosopher and Catholic priest Thomas Aquinas described it as a demon responsible for punishing those guilty of envy by swallowing them whole. Leviathan was also often seen as representing the gates of hell. In Anglo-Saxon art, the entrance to hell was seen as the gaping mouth of a monster known as the Hellmouth or the jaws of hell. The fifth demon prince is Beelzebub, the lord of gluttony. Another name you may also see is the Lord of Flies or the Lord of Flyers, which refers to his ability to fly. In the Testament of Solomon, he is a fallen angel often associated with Lucifer. The Dutch demonologist Johan Veer saw him as the chief lieutenant to Lucifer and integral to a successful revolt against the devil. John Milton also shared this view. In Paradise Lost, Beelzebub is a fallen angel who, along with Astaroth, is second only to Lucifer in terms of hierarchy. Why Binsfeld considers him the Lord of Gluttony is hard to say, as others equated him to false gods, pride, and envy demon. The sixth prince of hell is undoubtedly the most well-known, Satan, the Lord of Wrath. As this is Peter Binsfeld's classification, we can assume when he says Satan, he's referring to the Christian interpretation. In the early modern period, from around the 16th century onwards, just after the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, Satan was always depicted as pitiful and repulsive, with no real power. But now, with the fear of witchcraft on the rise, Naturally, Satan would become a demon that people fear, so much so that the church turned its attention away from other religions. The focus was now on Satan. The simple belief in him was thought to lead Christians astray. Our final demon prince is Belphegor, the Lord of Sloth. Dinsfeld saw him as the chief of laziness, and though he does have a point, there is more to his character. You wouldn't be wrong to argue that he is better suited as the prince of manipulation and deceit. He convinces, seduces, and manipulates humans into creating ingenious inventions that will make them rich, a whisper or a nudge in a certain direction. That leads to amazing discoveries. But when these are complete, the wealth and esteem are snatched away by Belphegor. He may not be the most imposing or terrifying demon, but Belphegor is about as cunning and deceitful as they come.